Back here on Radio Row, the sports arena. I am Michael Caratino. So lucky to be joined by somebody that actually, is from here, but works across the pond. So Super Bowl's international, as we know. This is Phoebe Schecter. She works for Sky Sports. Phoebe, thank you so much for joining me. It's awesome talking to you at the Chiefs media availability the other day. Just bumped into you, and we're talking the world's football, the true football that she gets to cover a lot of. But is this your first Radio Row experience, Super Bowl?
So this is my second Radio Row. My first one I did with radio.
Nice.
So it was a bit of a different experience now doing TV. And to be honest, this is way busier than it was when we were in LA. The opening night, that was never a thing that I've done before. I mean, we went to the media party the other night. A bit different. It wasn't quite universal, but there was food, so we're good.
Food and maybe a few drinks, of the carbonated type, right?
Yeah.
But that's awesome. So, you're trained. You talked to me the other day, and I was telling Eric, this is so awesome. You went to, you interned for the Buffalo Bills, and I want you to tell the fans. I don't want to ruin it, but it was through the Bill Walsh Foundation.
So through the Bill Walsh Fellowship, essentially. But essentially, my random story in a nutshell is I moved to England 10 years ago. I have dual citizenship, so it allows me. And I moved originally to work with horses. So I was working for a guy on the Dutch Olympic team. I thought best of the best. And it was literally probably a month after moving that I saw an ad for American football on social media. And I think when you're out of your comfort zone, you're so much more willing to take risks. So I just went for it, playing.
Right.
Never played a contact sport in my life. Don't know what I was doing, but managed to make the team, ended up playing for Great Britain, and I thought, I can't play forever, despite being 33 and still playing. I can't play forever, so I got into coaching, and really the coaching tree went off when I went and did like a little quick internship at University of Laverne in California, and that was what really struck my fire for my passion for coaching. And then I applied for the Bill Walsh Diversity Fellowship, and that was incredible because I ended up with the Buffalo Bills in training camp in 2017.
Now, was it just training camp, or were you there for the whole season?
So I did, first training camp was DBs, I was with them, and then my second year I went and did training camp and then was there for the whole year, OTAs, all that stuff.
Nice.
And I was with tight ends that year. So I had like Dawson Knox in his rookie year, all of that. So it's been an incredible journey, to say the least.
That is awesome. And I always kid around with my sister, and it's not comical because I say, if somebody loves a sport, just because they didn't play it doesn't mean they can't coach it. And I always think back to, I don't know if you saw the movie, but the class like Wildcats with Goldie Hawn.
Oh, yes.
That movie was so far ahead of it, even though it was high school, but like a woman's coach. And the fact that you can learn the game. Just because you don't play it, there's a lot. Head coaches didn't play every position. I know a coach that was, maybe a quarterback can't tell you about linebacker step. They can talk about it, but you're not going to know those intricacies. So that is so awesome. So. Okay, you said it was cold last night. You were in Buffalo. If you were in Buffalo, come on, it got a little bit colder in Buffalo.
What? It definitely got colder in Buffalo. We're talking like minus 25 degrees. The biggest difference was I was dressed for the occasion. I was not dressed for the occasion with my little like vest and long sleeve on. It's nobody staying warm like that.
So now with what you're doing at Sky Sports, are you obviously? I'm guessing you cover the EPL if you're working there. But is it all sports coverage focused on?
Predominantly NFL. So I'm an NFL analyst. So we do the in-game. Essentially, the way that we work is we get NBC's coverage, for example. So when the game is playing, when it breaks to timeouts, to 2-minute warnings, any of the natural breaks that you get on TV where it goes to commercial, it comes to us in studio, and then we break down the game. So it's myself, Neil Reynolds is the host, we've got Jason Bell, ex-player, so we've got him, and then we've got Jeff Reinbold, who's been a coach kind of through CFL, NFL, and now at University of Hawaii. So we've got a really nice mix of people, and it's a really good chemistry that we have.
So, you're saying NBC, so, it's just the I don't mean just, but it's the Sunday night game.
Yep. So we cover. Yeah. So we.
I know you watch you probably get highlights from all the games, but you literally are like doing the whole broadcast for the Sunday night game.
Yeah. So again, keeping in mind the time difference, right? From the East Coast, it's a 5-hour time difference. From here, it's 7 hours. So we will start our coverage from the first game. We usually do an hour pregame show, building up to what we're looking at, matchups, whatever that may be. And then we cover the first game. We'll then cover the second game, and then we hand over to NBC on the third game or Football Night in America because that is like 1 a.m. for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I mean, hey, it's a fun job, people. And people say, oh, we don't want to hear a broadcaster if they're sitting in a studio, even if they're reporting a 15-hour day of talking about it with time difference. So tell me you get the next day off, though.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, luckily we have the Mondays off, and then we go on the Tuesday and we do a review show about kind of the highlights, what we thought, big plays, anything like that. But I mean, goodness, during divisional and championship weekends, those were long because one of the days on the Monday Night Football we don't start until 10 p.m. and then you go and so we're working till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Sleep is a myth.
I was gonna say you're like a doctor. It's like doctors or even nurses like opposite sleeping schedules. Yep. It's almost like vampires. You sleep all day long, but that is awesome. So okay, what about let's talk a little football, world football. I mean, you and I talked about the break, obviously with the World Cup did and like club season. It doesn't seem that it's affected too many teams coming back. And the transfer portal, hello, EPL, $2.4 billion. I mean, I know, look, the money goes up every year. People say, oh, every year they break a record. Okay, fine. Money's going up. But they spent more than the Bundesliga, Serie A, and I think La Liga all together by themselves. What is going to happen? Who's winning it? Who's winning it? Because with all those transfers, I mean, look, and I see points-wise, a few teams are quite a bit back, but I mean, you just shake your head when you see those numbers and who's winning it.
It doesn't feel, it doesn't even feel real at that point. It's like you're playing with Monopoly money. But because football, soccer is such a massive part of the culture in the UK, across Europe, people don't even blink an eye at that. They're just, this is what they get paid. This is how it works. And literally, that's what also makes it so hard for other sports to get going. Because you're looking at the amount of money and time and effort. I mean, there's really barely any off-season for football. Then you've got rugby as a backup sport. It makes it tough for NFL, but they're really doing a good job too of kind of elbowing in there like, hey, we can be big dogs too.
Right. And with the NFL, I was going to say that too. Wait, hold on, no. I don't want to fast forward that. So who's winning it?
Oh my God.
Who's winning who are you taking?
I don't even know. Who do you have? Come on. Tell us straight. Tell the people what they want to hear.
I think they were like 11. I think they were man, I look. It's funny because I looked at the stand even the day before I talked to you. I think they were like 9 points down, or maybe 8-11. But Liverpool.
Yeah,
Liverpool was like 8-11, and I like what they did. Again, making up those points in the stretch. Jurgen Klopp is unbelievable as a manager. I mean, he's really changed the way that British football. I mean, not even just British, European football is looked at as well because of how he interacts. I mean, the way they play, but also how he interacts with his players. I know people joke about it, but he goes around and hugs all of his players at the end of the game, and that was never a thing that you saw in the football. Well, you're talking about the opposite time of being late for NFL games. When, a lot of Saturdays and Sundays, a lot of times I wake up and it's like 7 a.m. and I'll put on one of the NBC channels and I'm watching something from the EPL. Yeah. So, no, that's awesome. But when football, I mean, I know that there's a game in Germany. I know, and the games in England. There's going to be. It looks like another game, obviously, in Germany next year. I know, and again, it's a good media. You've been around it long enough. It's a good media talking point. And when international media asks, is there going to be a team in Europe? The logistics of it for all the teams here. Yes, with travel and planes, you don't have to go on boats, obviously, anymore. But it's possible. But what do you think? I mean, do you think it would be sustainable to have one NFL team literally based there?
I think it would be really tough. There's actually a rugby team in Canada that do that, manage it. They play like internationally. Their home team is international. I just don't see how the NFL makes it happen because you're not just looking at the players themselves. Even if you did, say 6 games in a row or something like that at home in the UK, you still have families to think about. You have lives of people to think about. I think the structure they're working on right now, where we've got 3 British games, 3 in London, and we'll have 2 in Germany this year. Yep. That's great. You're almost looking at a normal home season for teams because you're going to want to start pushing that further in terms of, what other countries have massive football following. You've got Brazil, you've got China, you've got all these other places.
And they've done the games in Mexico City because the Cardinals, me living here, I mean, they play the Niners, they've played, I think the Texans played the Raiders there one year, but still, the Cardinals have been down there. And but they can't do it next year. I forgot because something's going on in Mexico City.
The stadium,
for the World Cup. For the World, yes, exactly. So that's why, because people are like, oh, clickbait. I guess so.
No.
This day and age, I guess they'll say clickbait. Oh, the NFL's not going back to Mexico City.
Yeah.
They're getting ready for, sorry, Super Bowl. Yes, we know this is huge. The viewership for the Super Bowl is huge. It will not match with the World Cup finalists. The World Cup final, worldwide, television-wise, is that. But, in that stadium. Have you been to the Azteca in Mexico?
I have not. I would love to go. That's on my list.
I won't see it in the new one, but I was there in a few minutes ago in high school. But I did I did see a game there. It's absolutely awesome. But okay, so lastly, we were talking about that. But second to last, what did you think of the World Cup? I mean, the World Cup. Everybody's got like recency bias, but. And yes, full disclosure, having a big Italian family, never really rooting for the French, but I mean, France and Argentina. It was do you think that was the? I don't want to say ever, but in the say the last like 30 years, that the best World Cup final we've seen. And what'd you think of the whole tournament?
I mean, I thought the whole tournament came out great, right? Considering all of the storylines going into it. And actually, it was done really nicely. Everyone had a great time. And that's what it's about. I think when you look at the final itself, you couldn't have asked for a better, literally, again, storyline, right? You're looking at the GOAT in Lionel Messi. You're looking at Mbappe, who is unbelievable. The fact that he's experienced so much at his young age and handles the pressure so well. I think for me, like, the way that it finished was exactly how storybooks could have written it. I mean, and what a great way for Messi to just finish that World Cup campaign as well. And both of them are just incredible countries with so much potential going forwards.
Right, and the fact that, of course, Italy wasn't there, that's fine. My family, we were still, again,
we're
my
totally
cousins.
Okay with it, right?
My cousins, even my family in Italy, it was 2 in a row. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a good thing. But no, I am with you on that, because I even said it, my sister was up watching. She texted me and said, hey, I'm up watching the game. I said, yeah, me too. I go, so happy this is in, this time of year and everything's great. No, but I'm like, no, I go, me too. I go, but, and everybody says, oh, this is rigged, and people picking on refs and officials. I go, if the World Cup was really rigged, we would have had Messi and Ronaldo in the final.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
for what Ronaldo has done, and people go back and forth. I mean, they both won, the Ballon d'Oro, and they've won their Golden Ball, the Golden Boots. I mean, and they've been great players. I look at what both do. I mean, they're just different players. I mean, Ronaldo's dominance in the air, set pieces, everything. But, I was happy for Messi again in Argentina. And, Mbappe, I mean, even when he wins the World Cup at 19, he's in the second final at 23.
Insane.
And for people that don't watch, I'm like, literally, he's Patrick Mahomes of soccer. If you don't watch, he is the Patrick Mahomes of that.
Yeah. What a
because
great
of what he, at 19 years old and being an integral part, like not just out there. And I mean, France did have injuries, but again, you have, the fact that, the way Griezmann played this World Cup too. And I thought Brazil was going to get to the final. They were my pick, but absolutely awesome. But so wait, I said Liverpool. You said good pick. Are you agreeing?
I do think. Yeah, I think.
It's a little bit of points, and I'm not just doing it for a dark race. It's a little bit of points to make up.
Yeah, but Liverpool's been great. Arsenal have been great. Brentford are on the up and coming as well. They've redone their entire program and structure, so it's done. Yeah, it's just great to see all these programs building and just changing the way.
And not just Manchester. Sorry, Man U fans. I'm not a hater. I'm just saying, man. I know when Man City wins, you don't like it, but you're mixing it up. We're for generational dynasties.
Of course.
So, lastly, who's your pick for the game?
Ooh, you know what? For me, it is the Eagles. I love their physicality. I love the mentality, the running game, the fact that you've got Sanders, Boston Scott, Gainwell, and Jalen Hurts. What are you going to do to stop all these guys? The different body types you have to tackle. Now you've got Reddick on the other side. It's just the complete picture for me.
Well, you just made Eric happy. You are a recording of all the players he talks about, and yes, but how can you not? You're right.
For sure.
Well, Phoebe, thank you so much. Sky Sports.
Thanks
come on,
for having
watch
me.
Watch it internationally. And if you're not, watch us. But yes, I'm a big supporter. If you ever, hey, if you ever want to bring me over studio, I'll hang out with you. I'll put in little dimes. And hey, if Liverpool does come back and win, then maybe you could say I was a soothsayer.
There you go.
We'll definitely talk. But we're gonna have a lot more here from Radio Row. Again, going with the Eagles. Early morning picks always seem to be the Eagles. In the afternoon we get Chiefs. So who knows? But we are built into the game on Sunday, and we'll have more here from Radio Row on the Sports Arena.